So tonight, Aurora theater shooter James Holmes, we know he will spend the rest of his life in prison without parole. Holmes avoided the death penalty after a jury could not reach a unanimous verdict.
Had they voted a different way, Holmes would have just joined a few people in 3 others on the death row in Colorado. KRDO News Channel 13's Angelica Lombardi is looking into the status of the state's death penalty tonight.
Greg and Dana, generally a death row inmate will serve at least 10 years before that sentence is carried out. Tonight we're looking into that process and hearing from those both for and against it. In all of Colorado's history, 78 people have been executed to date. All were men.
The actual process of the death penalty in itself is a joke. You can't have justice without honor. And there's no honor in taking a life.
Bob Ottoby's son, Eric, was a prison guard, murdered by prisoner Edward Montour in 2002.
You could either become better or you could become bitter.
At first, Ottoby supported the death sentence, but later found forgiveness.
I started thinking a little bit harder, you know, because a man's life is on the line here, not just my son's.
Sir Mario Owens, Robert Ray, and Nathan Dunlap are all on death row in Colorado. Owens was sentenced to death in 2008 for killing 2 people in 2005. Ray has been awaiting execution since 2009 for plotting a murder. One of the victims was the son of Democratic Representative Rhonda Fields, who's been vocal about supporting the death penalty. After hearing Holmes would serve life in prison, she posted this to Facebook. Our justice system leaves the ultimate decision of life or death. They did their job with integrity and honor. But for Ottoby, he sees it different.
We're teaching our children that killing is an answer. How could the taking of life is the problem? How can it be the solution? It doesn't make any sense.
Nathan Dunlap also on death row for killing 4 people at a Chuck E. Cheese back in 1993. But Governor Hickenlooper granted Dunlap a temporary reprieve of his sentence this year. But in the Aurora theater case, where it's life in prison, the sentence is tough for the victims' families.
Our lives are forever altered. And the thought that this monster gets to have visitation with his parents and gets to receive mail and pictures of his very strange girlfriends is very hard to accept.
And for those still seeking closure in cases like these,
my heart goes out to you because I was a victim as well, and I know your pain.
and each date inmate is held awaiting an execution. It cost the states $112. Live in studio, Angelica Lombardi, KRDO News Channel 13.
All right, Angelica, thank you very much. The Colorado Department of Corrections tells us Holmes will undergo evaluations and that it could be up to 60 days before the DOC knows where Holmes will serve that life sentence. And